but it's okay because they love poop. Sometimes they would give their opponents poop and force them to eat it, so Jermaine was shitting his pants when heard that he was basically going to get fucked raw like Ryriok on a Wednesday, so he needed his own gang, a gang that would protect him from the weird-ass gay Pakistani porn star gang for some reason. I mean, come on, why wouldn't you want poo down your throat like Ryriok on a Thursday? So he created the Filipino gang. So he got the boys Dwayne, Cheryl, Joseph, Jericho, the man who will suck your mom's teeth like Ryrie on a Friday, and they went to the other gang and fought them. Dwayne killed Davia. Then Gerald killed himself like Ryriok on a Saturday. Jericho sucked all their moms' teeth, and Joseph died sacrificing himself by covering himself with shit and gonorrhea like Ryriok on a Sunday. But then a shit nuke came out and killed Dwayne, Jericho, and pooped the person who wasn't named. But the Pakistani gang died too because they killed themselves like Ryriok on a Monday. But Jermaine lived because he hid under the body of Gerald, the guy who killed himself like Ryrie every day. So after all of this, Jermaine went on and killed himself. JK, he shit himself and something weird happens. A bunch of baby Dwaynes came out of his ass. So that could mean one thing: Dwayne fucked the shit out of Jermaine's ass with his mega Kikanono shrimp Filipino sausage, and then he proceeded to come a whale load into Jermaine's ass with him even knowing, which takes skill. Trust me, I know, I've done Ryriok and Doisy almost every day, which is hot as fuck. So Jermaine had to raise the babies until they were 8, and then Jermaine ate half of them by swallowing them with his urethra, which was a sight to see. But the other half joined the gang as the hardest motherfuckers in town. So Jermaine lived his life as a stripes till he was 96, making 4 rice grains a year, which somehow made him survive all of this. But one day the Iranian gang OSP pulled up to a strip club, Chocolate Unicorn, and peed on everyone. So Jermaine basically got free drinks, and they said, "You killed my brother's gang, so now you die of drowning in pee very soon." Then they drove away in their yellow Prius. So that gave Jermaine only one choice, and that was to call the Mini Dwaynes and see if they can help. So they answered, and all they said was yo, and yo is the only word they know. So they brought him to a place down south in the California region to their gang. The Dwaynes bring him to a 10-car garage, and all you see is 7 people. And as they come out, you can see Jermaine gets an erection, which makes all the people get an erection. They all say at once, "Welcome to South Shambles," and they all come on Jermaine's face, and it was so hot that the room began to steam. Then they all said their names and nicknames from the left side of the room to the right. First was this sweat cheek looking us, and his name was Miles, and his nickname was Shorty Small Cock. Next was this gay as motherfucker named Chris, and his nickname was Sugar Tits. And the third was this guy named Kian, and his nickname was Sex. Then fourth was this guy named Nico, and he had no nickname cause of the size of his dong. Then fifth was just a cat named Dois, and its nickname was Dois. Second last was Ryriok, and his nickname was Ok, the depressed gay-ass Tosaka that wants to die because he is literally the new Ok. Go fuck yourself. Last was the sex demon, the Takonka, the poop Licka himself, Thomas. His nickname was like God 69 fucks up your lunch shit on your dad. Big toe varsity gay-ass eats your poo-poo every Tuesday night before the Denny's combo. Big smoke, sugar tits, fat toes. Horse cock 2-inch pinch, not depressed, and like Ryriok con master breachy god sex panda toe kicker fucked on his subway moisture. Then they all killed themselves, and then Dois played the Uno reverse card, and they all resurrected out of the breeding grounds of Ramrich. Then they group fucked Jermaine, but Ryrie couldn't get a card on sadly, so it was just a 6-on-1. Jermaine then wiped the cum out of his eyes and told them that the Iranian gang wanted to drown him in pee. And then Miles got super jealous because he always wanted to be drowned in pee by Iranian people. So South Shambles got what they needed and popped a couple port fours and stood their ground waiting for the gang to pull up. But then all of a sudden,
wait, it's almost done.
the Iranian gang pulled up, but also the enemy of South Shambles pulled up, North Shambles. Then all of a sudden Nico pulled out a Lewis and killed 800 of them, put them getting faded, no-scope cross map. Then Miles started to shit on them, but then got fire shotgun. Then Ryrie pulled a Gerald and killed himself. Then Dois shit on him, then got brutally raped all over her body. Then Kian got peed on his eyes and fell off the port-a-fort and died by falling on Bobby Russo's 12-inch. Then Chris, one negative because he is trash. Then it was Thomas, Jermaine, and the Dwaynes. Thomas jumped off and started hitting them with his tiny Italian sausage, but then hits someone for 7 damage to the head, then gets knocked and insta-killed by a stupid as homo dolica, and after that. It doesn't look good for South Shambles, but then out of the smoke comes out the savior, the god, the man you thought died, the man, the myth, the legend, 27 Dwayne. He grabs his legendary rocket launcher and insta-kills every North Shambles and Iranian gang member in the sight of the god and Jermaine, and Doyce, the last survivor of South Shambles, comes their pants. Like Ryriok on a weekend after he shit his pants because of this victory, Jermaine takes Dwayne and Doyce the cat with a 2 kilometers size asshole to his favorite spot, yup, you guessed it, Gialibes, and this
Shovel
time
IVs.
Jermaine went crazy. He got a whole 6 grams of rice, which is crazy, and it is basically sex, literally like the kind of sex where you just want to poo on Ryra's eyes every day until you die. So basically everyone comes when he walks in a room, no, so he tried out for X Factor, and he walked on stage and it was like a wave of cum going in everyone's eyes, and it made Simon Cowell almost pee. Shimmed in his shorts like jazz, so then he got a ticket to Hollywood. Chapter 2, Mega Faggot. But thankfully it was actually a ticket to
It's
Willy
almost done. It's almost done.
Wonka's
It's almost.
factory, so when Jermaine walks into the sex factory he is greeted by Willy Longschlong and his gang of small Nigerians, all called shorties or mini miles, whale dick at Denny's Chevy Silverado, but then Jermaine gets shot by a dart and falls asleep. He then wakes up in a pink room with handcuffs, grey dildos, rotting cheese, and the dead body of Ryriok that the minions of Willy occasionally, but for some reason he was smiling, so that made Jermaine almost vacate his pants and broke out of the sex prison. Only after giving Willy Longschlong a good rim job like how Dwayne did it back in the day. But all of a sudden a giant red tree fell out of the sky and obliterated Will Longschlong, and Jermaine questioned, why is there a sex model in front of me, when out of nowhere it started to transform into a giant robot, and said, I am Mega Faggot. So Jermaine, doing what he always does, skimmed everywhere and blinded Mega Faggot. That gave Jermaine the chance to run away from this metal horny sex beast. Where do you think he ran? Guess. Yup, you guessed it, Gialibes. He hid for 18 days.
That's all I got so far.
Thomas, I just clipped that whole thing that's going on my YouTube channel. Oh my god, that was great.